Another tip I wanted to share with you is that the internet is your friend. And if you're watching this online, then you're probably quite media savvy and you're probably used to using the internet, so you might know everything that I'm going to say. But nowadays, a jewellery business has so many tools to use online in terms of social media, third-party websites such as Etsy, selling online, Folksy, and also building your own website. So there's so much you can do, and there's also a lot to learn about internet marketing, how you promote yourself on those social media sites, using things like Facebook adverts, using Instagram, which is a great visual tool for jewelers. So there really is a wealth of information, and I'm hoping in future videos to share more specifics about some of those as well that I've learned through building an online business. But I would say really try to embrace that area of things. I like to think of jewelers as such a multifaceted business. This is one of the reasons why I love a jewellery business, because you can make your own things, so you have that creative time making. Then you get to engage with customers, which is such an enjoyable experience when you see how they love your work and wear it and share it. You get to take lovely pictures of your work. Obviously you need to do all the kind of organisational things such as your accounts and keeping the emails going, all those areas. But you're also these days, you're your own internet marketeer. So do embrace social media, do embrace building your own website and creating something that looks gorgeous online. All of that is part of the customer experience when they're coming to you. So they're buying the jewellery, yes, but they're also buying into your brand, you know, the way everything looks, your site, your images. So there's so much creativity that you can have there, and I really hope that you'll enjoy building that part of your business too. My next tip for your jewellery business is to absorb, adopt and adapt. And what I mean by that is to take in as much information as you can. So learning about jewellery and your making to perfect your craft, but also how to build a business and building a business online as well as offline. And then as you absorb that information, use it in your business to adapt. So this is something that works more over a time frame. So if you start your jewellery business today, in a year's time it will probably look very different to how it does now, and that will continue happening. The most successful businesses in any sector are those that are flexible and adaptable to change. So this is something I really want to encourage you to do, is to keep an eye out for trends that are happening. With the online world being so fast moving nowadays, there's always new things coming out. There's always Facebook updates. There's always different blog platforms that you can use. Now, I'm not suggesting that you change your business every couple of days, but do try and keep on top of those things. You're now an entrepreneur. You're now, not just a jeweler, but you run your own business. So these are important things to keep up with. And it can be a little overwhelming if you try and do it all at once. But just keep that steady drip of information coming in by learning new skills, watching videos online like these ones, webinars, podcasts. All these things are so useful for developing your skills and really making you a great business owner for the future. Next up, we're going to talk about time, because I know that this is an issue for so many of you. You have busy lives, you might have children that you've got to look after all hours of the day, you might be working a full-time job, and your dream might be to start a jewellery business, but when do you have time to even start? Well, this is a good question, because it does take time, but you don't have to do it all in one day. And the good/bad news is that building any business normally takes years. So you'll be looking at a couple of years before you have a profitable, running, steady business. Now, the good part of that means that you don't need to do it all today. And one of my mottos is just to do one thing each day for your jewellery business. And this has helped me so much, especially if you feel overwhelmed or you feel that there's too much going on. Just one thing a day, and in 2 years' time, I'm really bad at maths, but you will have done 700 things approximately, which is a lot of things. So a lot of people underestimate what they can do in a couple of years, but overestimate what they can do in a day. So most businesses take quite a while to build and develop. what I see happen with a lot of people that I do mentoring for and support with at the jewellery school is that they'll start a jewellery business, and after about 6 months they'll say, it's not profitable, it's not making enough, it's not successful, I can't continue. And my answer to that would be, there might be things that they need to adjust, but also 6 months is not long enough for any business to really build and grow in this sector. So I would say give yourself a couple of years. Start now, do little bits as you go along, don't overwhelm yourself, and see where you are in a couple of years' time. I think you will be pleasantly surprised. Now we're going to move on to pricing. And this is such a hot topic. Everyone is always asking questions about how do you price your jewellery, where do you start, how do you know what to charge people for it? And it's such a good question because it is really important to get a good solid pricing structure in place in your business, and that will help you so much going forwards. So there's all different ways to price your jewellery. I've done a few videos on this already and I'm sure I will do more, but the basic fundamentals of it are, it's important to consider your material costs. So first of all, you need to work out a way to work out what those material costs are. So that's the first chunk. Next, you need to consider the amount of time that it's going to take you to make the piece. So that's kind of the second chunk, is your time costs. And people often say, well, how much do I charge for your time? That's a difficult question to answer because it does depend. Depends on how much experience you have as a designer. If you've been designing jewellery for quite a long time, you'll probably make the jewellery a lot quicker, so therefore your hourly rate will increase. And if you're very new to jewellery, it might take you a long time to make the piece, and therefore your hourly rate will decrease. The other important factor is if you're using very expensive materials, then your time should be worth more because there's a lot higher risk in terms of what you're making, and there's generally a lot higher skill level as well. So my very bottom basic level is I never charge less than £10 an hour, and I say to everyone who's starting out, I would never charge less than £10 an hour for your work, and then it goes upwards from there, just depending on your skill, how much money you need, how much you feel you can demand in your market, because that's another thing that's important in the pricing mix, is what's already out there and how much does it cost, because they're who you're competing with. But the basics, I won't cover everything here because we don't quite have time for that today, but the basics I would say is consider your time, materials, if you've got any taxes such as VAT to pay, and also your skill level, and that gives you a kind of cost price for your piece, and then profit on that you would normally double it. So again, it's a very rough formula today. I will share in the course notes, I'll share the links to some of the more specific pricing information that I've done. But do feel free to ask questions. There's a comment section below and you can ask questions about any aspect of this course and I'll be very happy to answer and talk with you about it more. So as well as the mathematical kind of bread and butter bit of pricing, another part of pricing that's important to think about is building your confidence in being able to charge a decent amount for your work. And I know as designers it can be challenging because we sort of feel like you've put a piece of yourself into the work and it can be very personal. And sometimes you get comments saying that it's too expensive or why are you charging so much for that? And what I normally say to people about that is, first of all, those people are probably not the right customers for you. So you might be aiming at the wrong audience if you're constantly getting that kind of feedback, even though you're pricing your pieces fairly. And another thing is to think about how to educate the customer and inform them of things like the materials that you're using, of how long it takes to make the piece and the processes that you use, to kind of inform people about why there might be a certain price behind a piece of jewellery, and really having the confidence to be able to charge the right amount, to know that your time is worth something, that the designs and what you've put into it are all worthy of a decent return on your investment. So that's an important thing to think about. That confidence really builds as you go through your jewellery business and as you get more and more experience with dealing with these kind of situations. It is super sunny here today. I'm absolutely loving it. It's not ideal for filming, so I hope it comes out okay. But yeah, enjoying the sunshine. So a final tip that I wanted to leave you guys with is about your training. And this has been the fundamental behind my jewelry business all the way through, is to keep on investing in your training. And whether that be your jewelry training or related craft skills or your business training, these are two skills that are so crucial to the success of your business now going forwards. And one of the biggest investments that I've ever made, and I continue to make, is in those skills, and is in doing courses both online and offline, and learning all that I can so that I'm constantly on top of my game in terms of what I'm doing going forwards. I also find that learning and doing courses like these, and I love online courses nowadays, are particularly inspiring for my business, because I get to engage with other people in a community and feel that I'm not on my own with what I'm doing, and I get to learn new skills, and it's just a brilliant experience. So there's a whole load of reasons why investing in your training is so important for the future of your business. And that can be formal or informal training. It doesn't have to look like any specific thing. But I think that's so crucial to building yourself, building your confidence, building your skills. And it comes through in how you engage with your customers, in how you develop different areas of your business, how you update your website and make that a great experience for people, how you update your packaging, how you improve on your collections and make new and exciting things for people to wear. Running a jewelry business is such an amazing experience, and I hope that you will have found this lesson to be useful in helping you think about whether it's something that you want to do and how you might go about doing that. We will have lots more training for you in the future on how to build and grow successful jewelry businesses. It's something that we're extremely passionate about and want to help you with. As I mentioned before, please do leave comments below if there's anything that you want to discuss with me or the community. Then we would love to help you out with that. And I will also include in the notes some other videos that might be helpful for you too. The next video that we're going to be doing after this shortly is all about how to build a successful jewelry business plan so that you have an action plan to get you going and moving forward through the first stages of your business. So until then, good luck with your making and good luck with starting and growing your jewelry business, and I hope to see you soon.